Topic 1. Spirit Airlines shuts down operations, leaving terminals dark and stranding travelers. On May 2, 2026 at 3 a.m. ET, Spirit Airlines immediately ceased operations and entered a wind down, posting all flights canceled, customer service unavailable. The shutdown follows years of financial distress, 2 prior bankruptcies, intensified competition, technical problems, and a final blow from a surge in jet fuel prices linked to the Iran war. A White House emergency bailout offer, up to $500 million and up to 90% government stake, collapsed over creditor objections. The immediate impact: thousands of domestic and international flights canceled, airport terminals and check-in counters emptied, and roughly 17,000 direct and indirect employees left jobless. Reports said Spirit had flown over 50,000 passengers in a single day just before the collapse. Passenger relief and uncertainties. Many travelers were stranded and scrambling to rebook. Spirit promised automatic refunds only for tickets bought directly with credit or debit cards, while third-party bookings, miles, and vouchers will be handled through bankruptcy proceedings and may be unrecoverable. Other carriers waived rebooking fees and offered support. DOT urged passengers not to go to airports and outlined chargeback refund options. Labor and social fallout. Unions demand wage, leave, and benefit protections and federal unemployment supplements. Communities face higher travel and living costs and potential airfare increases. Short-term aid comes from other airlines and government guidance, but long-term losses for passengers, voucher holders, and the industry remain uncertain. Topic 2. President Trump says he is reviewing a new Iranian proposal that could move toward ending the war. President Trump said he has been notified of a new Iranian proposal concept and is awaiting the exact wording, but expressed skepticism that the proposal will be acceptable and warned that a military response remains possible if Iran missteps. Iranian officials described the proposal as sequencing a reopening of the Strait of Hormuz and lifting a U.S. blockade first, postponing nuclear issues to a later stage. The formal offer reportedly contains 14 items, including U.S. troop withdrawal, unfreezing asset returns, reparations, sanctions relief, ending hostilities on all fronts, and creating a mechanism to control the strait. The plan would guarantee an end to naval attacks and reopen shipping routes before final negotiations over sanctions relief and nuclear constraints. Iran seeks recognition of peaceful uranium enrichment rights. The U.S. insists preventing Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons is non-negotiable, and both sides have exchanged proposals via intermediaries. The conflict has disrupted about 20% of global energy supply and driven oil and price increases. Although U.S.-Israeli strikes paused 4 weeks ago, the ongoing blockade and naval risks continue to shock global markets. Topic 3. U.S. crude exports surged to record levels with tankers flocking to the Gulf Coast. With the Strait of Hormuz effectively closed and Middle Eastern crude constrained, Asian and other buyers pivoted to U.S. barrel purchases. April U.S. crude exports averaged a record 5.2 million barrels per day, up more than 30% from February's 3.9 million bpd. Texas's Corpus Christi handled roughly half of April exports and posted record quarterly and monthly flows, with Houston taking most of the remainder. Tanker transits rose from about 200 to over 240 in March, and dozens of VLCCs, 50 to 60 at times, have headed daily for U.S. ports as seaborne demand surged. Physical limits cap U.S. exports. Pipeline and terminal capacity suggest an upper bound near 5 million bpd. Corpus Christi's current max 2.6 million bpd, with 0.5 million bpd possible if expanded, so further increases are constrained. Quality mismatches matter. Light sweet grades cannot fully substitute for some Middle Eastern heavy and sour crudes at certain refineries, so the surge is mainly an emergency, wartime,